wonderful, wonderful grandfather. I remember so well. He'd tell us stories, and he'd let us dress him up. My cousin and I, we'd dress him up, and he'd just sit there stoically. And then during World War II, I was in high school then. I can remember him just sitting by the hour by the radio, listening to what was going on in Europe, because my brother was in Europe and he was in very grave danger much of the time. He did come home, thank God, and but I remember my grandfather's concern for his oldest grandson. Then when World War I broke out, my dad was drafted into the war, or he went into the war, and he ended up in the trenches. And he never said very much about that time in his life. He didn't want to talk about it, and I was too young to really be that caring. But I know now that it was a hideous place to be during the war. He was wounded and he was sent to a Paris hospital, and that's where he was when the freedom broke out.
I was born at the Hollywood Hospital. My nickname was Schatzi, which means little treasure in German. My father made an excellent living as a plastic surgeon and provided the family with many luxuries. We always had beautiful homes, and we had governesses and nurses and chauffeurs and butlers and maids. Very, very, very class act.
Well, I thought she was pretty neat. No?
No.
Watched a sachet down the hallway. I said, that looks awfully good. He goes, no?
The best.
It's the best.
Probably your senior year. I was going to junior college, and he was in his
Yeah,
senior
you got out
year.
6 months before I did.
Yeah, I did. I graduated a little bit early, and we just started dating and went from there. Our big thing in Huntington Beach was going to the Pavilion on Saturday night. All the kids went dancing. We had the finest orchestras. We had Stan Kenton, Harry James, Tommy Dorsey. All of them came to the Pavilion. If not there, they'd be at Balboa at the dance. I got married in 45. Oh, it was a beautiful day. It was summertime. Rose was the maid of honor, and Fred was the best man. And Sharon was our little flower girl. We had a marriage in the Episcopal Church in Santa Ana, and the reception right there, in which we left right after that.
The highlights of my Coast Guard career was when the ASS Yukon, the very ship that I came up on to Ketchikan on, went aground between Seward and Cordova. There was over 450 people on it, crashed against the shore there. We were the second ship to come to get there, but there's about 8 or 10 ships out away from it. They were able to get an Army barge up and moored right up against the Yukon. People down on the barge which was moored right against the ship. And then our boats from our ship would come in and load 3 to 5 passengers so that they could go out their ship. It just went on all night. Anyway, we got all those survivors off, except I think 10 of them tried to jump over to get on the shore. Anyway, out of the 450, we got 440 rescued.
We made raviolis during Easter. And Mother had a big table about the size of the table right here, our kitchen table. And she'd had a big wooden boards laying there. And she laid a layer of dough. And then she had made a batter of spinach.
Oh,
and
God.
batter of spinach and cheese.
Cheese.
And it was
No hamburger.
no, we spread it. We spread it on top of that big square platter of dough, and then we run this over it like that all the way across. They take that off, and
Here's
we
a
get this cutter and we cut it, and we get the spatula,
I don't have the spatula.
pick it up, and put it in a big pot of boiling water. If I remember right?
Yeah, that's right.
Boiling water. Then we'd boil it, and then meanwhile Mother's making her sauce with the butter and the tomato sauce.
Lot of
and
butter,
a
lot
lot
of
butter.
onions.
In fact, mostly butter than anything else. and
we're doing this story for future generations that know me very slightly or maybe not even born yet. I hope my children know about me. My grandchildren know a little bit less. My great-grandchildren know nothing at all, so this will be for them.